What's going on, world? It's your boy, Kuya P. This is the NRW. Nerds rule the world, back with another ShoPowSho. So, of course, it's the Adobo, the Babinka boy, the leader of the Hala Hala homies in the center gang. Back again to give you another installment, man, to show love to my Philippine ex-peoples. You know how I do. And, of course, as you saw from the thumbnail, I got to bring a brother who is just amazing, y'all. I work with this cat with the rest of my other actor brethren in the Philippine Actors Barkada. He inspires me through his performances, and he's been killing the game for a long time. And recently, Lumpia with a Vengeance, shout out to my Kid Heroes Productions brethren, shout out to Patricio, Lawrence, and the whole squad there. They finally, it's been years. We finally got it on digital now. It's out everywhere. You can see this man killing it in it. I'm gonna unpin him so you can see him shooting off air horns. There you go. He's on the screen. My brother Earl Baylon, man. What's good, Earl?
What's up, Kuya P? How's it going, man? It's good to see you,
brother.
dude.
Good to see you, dog. You know, always a pleasure. We do class like every other week now. You know, we're OGs. We've been in these class for a minute. But it's so beautiful, dude, seeing the evolution. Shout out to Denise and Zed, how much it's grown now, and just all the different people. It's like, man, I love this energy. There's so many talented motherfuckers that we got now. Like, Hollywood, listen up, bro. Like, there's so many talented Filipinos out here, man. If we could just form like Voltron, we could really show these motherfuckers what's up.
For real.
Because we got that Lapu spirit, bro. Like, we ready. Like, let's kill it. So.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's great seeing all these new people join the Barkada, and people at all different like types of like experience levels. So it's really awesome playing off everybody's like different energies and seeing everybody's perspective, different levels of experience. So yeah, it's been dope. And even like you said, just to watch it evolve over these last few years, you know.
It's amazing, bro. But let me talk about your evolution, bro. I think last time we talked, you were, I think Tresse was just coming out. Shout out to everybody over there on Netflix. And then Lumpia, I think we were like festival circuit at the time when we were chatting it up.
Yeah, 2021. We were just about to screen at Comic-Con Special Edition, I think.
Yeah. And I think man, it's been crazy. All as you know, all things melt together because we've been in pandemic and just all the like. But now it's on digital. More people are seeing it. Have you been getting more feedback now that it's out there? Because you know, I'm pretty sure it's rather niche and small of our friends, right? That seen it. But now that it's widely available, have like people been hitting you up? Be like, yo, Earl, what up, bro?
I don't know if like too many more people. I've had couple people from college like send me the like, yo, I just watched it. I had a friend send me like screenshots, said like, I love this line right here. Shout out to Jimmy. You know, so I mean, a couple people said what's up. We were actually at the A Very Good Girl screening, right? And somebody came up to me and was like, hey, can I take you? You're in Lumpia. And I was like, yeah, that's me. So, I mean, there's a little more notoriety, right? And that's always good because it means more eyes are getting on the film and hopefully, you know, they talk about it and like, either way, if they love the movie or not, at least they're talking about it. And that's all we really want. We just want eyes, you know, to appreciate it, really. So hopefully that just you know, it perpetuates. Hopefully more people go out and watch. So crossing fingers. We've been out for like almost a month now, so we'll see how it goes.
Yes, man. I hope positive vibes all the way through because you know we were both there when we finally met in person at San Diego Comic-Con, and Pat broke out that we're doing a 3. So fingers crossed, because I want to be in the joint. Beyond just writing like these comics and stuff with Pat. Man. I gotta find a place in there, man.
I hope we find. I hope we.
I will fly out. I will make the time. I will take time off. Like, let's do this, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm so happy for you, brother. It's beautiful. And again, the people see the work, see how amazing you are. You know, it's just a wonderful thing. One of the things I noted, because we follow each other and on the socials and shit. Right. One of the things I found funny and kind of cool, and just when you're part of this indie game as filmmakers, right? One of the things you noted during the Lumpia process was that a little bit of a hair evolution. And like, when I had this kind of hair, I wanted to get the inside track on that, and I thought it'd make you laugh too, because I noticed it.
Okay. I was wondering, you mean over the course of the film?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so hard.
Like?
It's crazy because I mean, like we're talking, like you said, it's indie circuit, and one of or it's indie film world, and like one of those things about like shooting an indie film, especially if something like that's a full-length feature, is that you're going to be hit with different hurdles at different times, and one of those the biggest hurdles is budget. So you look at Lumpia with a Vengeance, and for the most part, I think we're pretty good with our consistency, our continuity. But there's things that slip through the cracks. Because the production of that movie was split over like over 3 years. We shot for a few weeks in, I want to say 2017, and then 2018 we came back. We went back into production a year later, and we did a few more weeks, wrapped principal photography, and then we had another like pickups here and there. And my hair is different. I tried to stay consistent, and I mean the thing is, it's hard because we didn't have a consistent scripty. On a set, you have a script supervisor, and they're supposed to be there to keep tabs on continuity, and sometimes my hair is just ever so slightly different. And my facial hair maybe is a little longer, and then in some scenes I have hair, and other scenes I'm like bald. And I mean, it's just one of those things that happen, and I'm gonna say it's not all like production's fault or Pat's fault either. It's one of those things that happen. I remember coming back in 2018, and we shot in Daly City. I flew back up to the Bay. Did I fly? I can't even remember how I got there, but I'm waiting for my scene to go on, and this is my bad because I'm like, oh, Hollywood guy, right? And I just assumed there was going to be somebody there to cut my hair, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So we get to like my scene, and I remember somebody going like, oh, your hair's longer, and I was like, oh, was I supposed to take care of that? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm used to somebody just here show up with their hair and makeup, and then we'll take care of you. But so if you look at certain scenes in the movie, you'll see that my hair is a little different.
I bring it up because I can totally relate. I've again, indie cat myself. Outside of like a lot of security industrials that I've produced here in the DC area. But yeah, when I go back and look at certain things, it's what as yourself and your role in it, especially if you're about it, on all sides and aspects, because we try to be professionals, or to the best of our ability. Right, absolutely. And or we rely on the screen soups to make sure the continuities, to make sure everything's there. So it's which is I think our own professionalism, right? So yeah, I've noticed that for myself. But in regards to this, I remember when I watched it for the first time. I think it was right before y'all debuted at HIF, the Hawaiian Independent, because I got an early screener joint.
Oh, sweet.
And I was like, oh, this was dope, and I didn't recognize it that time. But then the second time I watched it, you watch it with more of a critical eye, right? After,
absolutely, right.
And then I was like, there's something different. And then I want to remember after a couple more times, and then you pointed it out. And other than you pointing it out, I was like, oh, okay, now, yeah. But I think it's just, it's just something we as professionals, and I know you to be a very professional cat yourself, man. It's it actually felt like I'm not alone in like my own critical mind for myself with my own performances. You know, I think, and that's what I think all of us in the Barcada too do as well. We're also very professional, and my side. So when you kind of made like a slight post, I think about that, I was like, yeah, I see that too, bro. Like, yeah, it's so relatable, bro. I love it.
Oh man, I just hope it's not like, it doesn't pull people.
No, I think it, bro. Unless you're like, I think it like unless you're in the community, like you're tracking. Most of my other people. Oh, just amazing. So yeah, bro. I love it. So Lumpia with a Vengeance, y'all, out right now. I'm gonna put the links in the description below. Please go check it out. Support my brother Earl. Support the whole Kid Heroes gang, because we trying to make part 3, y'all. We're trying to make part 3.
Right, that'll be dope.
I love it. So man, you got that out there, and I know one project I'm really anticipating. That I think it's your return to it in a way, right? Because you did the video games, you did all the mocaps and everything for Tomb Raider, and now we're getting an anime coming to Netflix, brother. Super excited for this one, bro. I'm not sure, kind of things you can talk on in regards to that, but how excited were you to return? Are all the episodes already taped and now they're just getting ready for the initial launch now?
I mean, I was super excited to, be able to return. I remember getting the call from my agent, and because they had announced that they were going to make one. And I didn't know if I was being attached. You never know.
Yeah.
It's the thing about the industry, is like, you never know if you're attached to something. And sometimes you find out like on social media. Sometimes, you get the call from your agent, and it's a toss up. You never know what it's going to be. So when I got the call from my agent and they extended an offer, I was like, this is amazing. I never in my wildest dreams, if you talked to like a much younger me, told me when I first started working on this project that, when I was in my early 30s or something like that. And if you told me that I would keep on working on this project for like the next decade, I would have been like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy.
You're like canon now, bro. There's no getting rid of you now. Which is beautiful, man. Beautiful.
I'm very grateful, very lucky. And so I was super excited to get the call, and we started recording back in when was that? I want to say back in 2021. As you know, it's animation. It takes a long time to happen. I think everybody talks about like an episode of The Simpsons or whatever. It takes like 6 months, to create. And you think about that, we have an 8 episode series, season 1. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to work on. It's a lot to record. Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to step back into the shoes of the character and continue the story from the games. And the team behind it is great. Tasha is our showrunner. She's great. I love the direction that they're taking the series in, and in the story, and hopefully everybody else will appreciate it as well. I can't say too much about it, but
I don't want to get you in trouble.
I know, here's me tiptoeing around it, but
okay.
I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And they released a preview. We got like a 1-minute teaser like about a month ago, and that was the first time that I got to see the animation in kind of its full glory. So I'm like super excited. As you know, it's like Powerhouse, DJ Entertainment, like DMJ Entertainment, and Powerhouse does like the Castlevania series. So I'm super excited for it to come out.
Good pedigree right there. Good pedigree. I love it.
Yeah.
So if you can't answer certain things, feel free to just like, hey, Patrick, can't answer that one. But like with the Tomb Raider series, the games, they mocapped you and all that, right?
Right.
Did they actually, because of the process of animation with this, Did they actually record y'all in the booth just to get facial expressions and stuff? Did you have to bring like the actor that I know Earl is? Because as much as I love you voice acting, brother, I know you from Barkada as well. You emote, you give everything. So I was just curious if that, if you gave performance in that vein to add to the character. That shouldn't get you in trouble. That shouldn't get you in trouble. You know?
No. I don't remember them like taking any like
recordings in the booth or anything like that.
Yeah, but you know, it's
or did you record from home because we are in pandemic times?
I actually went into the booth like
okay.
Over the course of the pandemic. And I remember it was one of those things I actually got to work on pretty early, you know, in 2021. And the protocol was pretty it was very interesting, you know. Like we couldn't enter the studio, had to wait outside. So I waited outside and waited for them to call me, because they needed like a few minutes to like air out the studio and all that stuff. So the protocol was pretty interesting, and I had to take they would check your temperature at certain studios and all that. But I recorded in the booth. I don't remember having any like a facial cam.
Okay.
But again, it's been 2 years. So
no worries. I just know that they do that sometimes, and I would just be curious because I'd love it'd be awesome if they did that, right? You know, that they put more of you into that work. That, you know,
right.
Yeah. But shout out to Netflix though. I worked on some Netflix projects too during pandemic times. They were really taking care of us as actors.
Yeah,
I thought that was dope. You know, I that just shows care for us as actors and making sure you know, with what was going on. Did you were you in the booth at all with Haley or Alan Maldonado? Alan, I've had on the show quite a bit. He's a cool.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I've not. No, see.
Oh, you didn't get to hang with any of them?
So like I think that's just like an extension of like the whole pandemic thing. Like
that makes sense because we were in that pandemic times when you were recording it.
Gotcha. So like I never saw anybody else.
Okay.
I barely even saw the recording engineer. You know?
Wow.
Like people, even like the creative team. You know, back in the day before pandemic, you would have the entire creative team, or like a good amount of the creative team, on the other side of the glass in the recording booth. It's not the case anymore. You know, for the most part, everybody zooms in. So it's I want to say that part of like recording has been interesting, but it's still, I still love it. You know, I still love doing the work. Everything to say that I didn't see anybody. So basically when I went into the booth, it was me, like a recording engineer, and that's usually it, you know, and that continues to this day.
Man, all right. Well, we're gonna get into more of VO type work, which you are a monster at. But again, I'm super excited for Tomb Raider. I'm a Tomb Raider head, bro. Like I remember when it first dropped, I was in the military back in the day, and it was the game that took my mind off of being out to sea and on the water and on deployment in the Persian Gulf and just all of that, bro. It was my game. And so years later, to know a cat that's involved with the series as much as you are, bro, it's super dope, man. Because I have so many fond memories of Tomb Raider, bro.
I'm so glad that, you know, we could something that I worked on provided that kind of release, you know, and that kind of like a distraction from you know, long deployments at sea. You know, that's everybody knows that's not easy. That's not an easy thing to do. So I mean, like, thank you for letting me know that. That's crazy, man.
Oh, no doubt, brother, no doubt. Just that beloved franchise, and honored to have a friend, man, that's involved with that. That's super dope. But yeah, Alden Maldonado, man, shout out to him. And Haley Outwell, everybody, and my man Earl Baylon, Tomb Raider coming soon to Netflix, The Legend of Lara Croft.
Woo!
Check it out. I can't wait, man. I'm super excited for that series.
Yeah,
and I mentioned it to Alan too, that I knew you in my interview. And he's a real cool brother, very talented too. He's an artist.
I see.
Acting.
We follow each other like on IG, and I see all that stuff. I'm like, man, you do a lot, dog.
Yeah, cool cat, man. Hopefully y'all meet hopefully you'll get a premiere or something. That would be dope.
That would be dope. I
don't know if they do it much for animation, but that would be cool for y'all, bro.
Yeah,
why not?
Great. That'll be great. At least if we get to do maybe something at Comic-Con next year, that'll be great.
Yes. Oh, that would be super dope. That would be
Yeah.
super dope. All right. Energy, vibes. I'm gonna put that into the atmosphere, man. Let's make that happen. But another project I want to talk about real quick, bro. So many friends in this one too. Starfield, bro. I think I have like about 6 or 7 friends that are involved in that damn game.
There's
and I just found out a colleague of mine that here in the DC area, he worked his daughter worked at Bethesda and was one of the testers on this game. And then I found out that my other friend was a producer on the game as well. Here at Bethesda, because there's Bethesda is based here in the DC area, or was. I don't even, because weren't they like shutting that whole Bethesda down? I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't been following that actually.
But Starfield, brother. Again, expanding your universe into the pop culture sphere, bro. Like, what was that project like working on that? And I know you were playing the game heavy too once it finally came out.
Yeah, I was playing it. I'm still playing it.
Did you finally come across your character, and how cool was that?
I did. I did. And that's always trippy, that's not gonna be a trip. Listen to that, or like playing a game and then like hearing my own voice coming out of my headphones. So but that was great. I mean, it was one of those things that I think it was released in the breakdowns under a code name, so I had no idea what it was. And I don't think it was not until I actually got it called in for the session that I found out that it was Starfield. So of course I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. And my character Manaki, he's like in the game like maybe 5 minutes because he's a shop owner, right? And but it seems to have made like an impression definitely upon people, which I'm so flabbergasted. I'm so like humbled by. I don't know. Do you know Stephen Ford?
Yes. Yes.
So Stephen Ford, he sent me great filmmaker. I worked with him on a couple of shorts that Ghost of Tsushima inspired short with Yoshi, and he sent me a Reddit thread from the Starfield subreddit, and it was an appreciation thread for the character, and I was like, "What? This is tripping, man!
That's awesome, dude."
Yeah, I was like, this made my week, man. This is, it's crazy because it's just, out of the thousands of characters in the game, I want to say maybe hundreds, but a lot of characters in the game, for people to like latch on to my 5 minutes of character in the game, I'm like super grateful for that. And then he sent me another one that happened like a couple weeks later, a different appreciation thread. So all new people just saying the kindest things. I'm like, that's amazing, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very grateful. It's such a fun game. Because I picked up playing day one. I'm into RPGs and all that stuff. I play a lot of RPGs, and to be part of one was there's definitely a bucket list.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's super dope, bro. Because I know you're a gamer, and so like for that particular project, that had to be really icing on the cake, bro. I love it for you, man.
Absolutely.
And of course, it's memorable, bro. You got that silky baritone or bassy, bro. You got a great voice. Voice, Doug. But you also can emote and perform, and that's like, while I'm showing you a lot of love and flowers right now for your voice, man. I've seen you in Lumpia, and I've seen you perform in class, like. You got to get my boy out of the booth and in front of your screen, and like we want to see the brother emote. So I'm talking to all my producer friends out there. Just he got a great voiceover king, VO King, Earl Baylon, but also you want to see him act and actually perform as a presence because he's got it, bro. I need to be your agent or your other manager, bro. I'm your East Coast manager, Earl. No, I love it, bro. I can understand. So we talked about Lumpy. We talked about Starfield. Another note. Again, I've got some notes. You know, I try to be professional here.
Yeah,
I want to show
absolutely.
you love. Avatar: The Last Airbender, man. That's
I know.
I'm not a big anime cat. I'll be
Right,
honest. I'm an old school, bro. I think you and I are somewhat the same age. Um,
right.
Avatar is a little after my time, but I know how
Mm,
popular it is. And
yeah,
of course,
absolutely.
Dante Bosco, our Filipino king.
What's up,
They all know him
Dante?
as Rufio.
Yeah,
But stepping into the universe for yourself, what was that like, man? Did you? I know there's got to be a subreddit out there for that too.
absolutely. Look, I haven't played the game yet,
Uh,
but like you said, Avatar came a little like after our time, you know. Um, but it took me a while to watch it, you know, back in the day. But like when I
yeah,
did,
even that
I was
whitewash version, but we're finally getting a good one. I will say that I'm excited for that.
yo
That I will finally, real talk. I will
right.
finally check that one out because it looks like they finally given us our due in the new one.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It looks like the production stills that they've released look great, you know, of the characters. So I'm fingers crossed. I hope we'll see what happens. Um but this just again, this is just another thing that kind of happened. Of course, I auditioned for all this stuff, but to actually book it and you know, they put out a call for like basically voice matches for a lot of the characters in the from the cartoon, and they wanted to, you know, be a little more accurate with casting, so they did hire a lot of API actors to work on
Dope.
this. And yeah, I got to play Avatar Roku, which is crazy to me. You know, I eventually did get into the series, and I binge watched like all three books, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
So I was into it, man. And to be able to like take over, like you take on this role of Avatar Roku, who's like one of you know, have you watched it?
I know nothing about Avatar,
Oh, okay,
bro.
okay,
I
okay.
have a
So
passing knowledge because of popular culture,
yeah.
but you know, uh, I thought I'd watched the whitewash version years ago, and I actually
Right, right.
auditioned for that, dude.
Did you really?
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. He was casting
Right,
everywhere,
right,
and there was a casting call for Asians here in the DC area for Avatar. I went out
right,
for it, went to the hotel, and he did see there was quite a few Asian people, local actors that I knew, but
right.
then it ended up, you saw it. Well, I didn't. Well, we all saw who he cast, right?
Yeah,
And
I
I was
saw it. I
like,
saw it.
"Fuck this guy." I was mad as hell, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
But yeah, I was
No,
part of the
that's all.
casting when they were doing that.
No,
But
that's
no,
crazy.
I don't have any familiarity other than just overall,
Oh,
just
word, word, word.
what it is.
That's all
Yeah,
good.
and then Rufio, we all Rufio Dante
Yeah,
Dante
yeah,
Bosco, because who's
yeah.
the character he portrays?
Prince Zuko.
Zook. Yeah, 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 yeah. See,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. My knowledge is even Dragon Ball. Everybody's like, man, you don't like Dragon Ball. Everybody mentions just because we're Asian. It's that whole AAPI, like just because we're Asian, we're supposed to know everything about our shit. And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
no. That actually what pulled me away is because I'm not gonna be labeled and boxed like that, bro.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
it. No,
yeah,
it's definitely it's a weird you know how they say not all stereotypes are bad.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
necessarily, well, not all stereotypes are necessarily negative, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
um still, you don't want to get boxed into something. Of course you don't. I totally get that. But yeah, Avatar is definitely one of those things that uh I I I really latched onto when it came
Dope.
out. But so you bring up Zuko, and basically my character is if I remember correctly, is an ancestor
Oh,
of
sweet.
of Zuko, of Dante's character, but is also the a previous incarnation of the main character.
Dope.
So it's called The Last Airbender, right? So
Uh-huh.
the Avatar, the main character in Avatar: The Last Ember and Last Airbender is Aang, and basically the Avatar is this it's a spirit and a person that gets reincarnated over time.
Yeah.
Like one avatar dies, and that another avatar is born somewhere else, and they are of a different bending style than
Okay.
the previous airbender. So gosh, I'm like forgetting my lore now, but I am two ago, or I'm a previous incarnation of Aang, of the main character.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, I think once the new series drops, because like the better representation is in there now, I'm
Right.
definitely gonna watch it because of that, and so I'll probably like dig more into lore. But that's really sweet, dude.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know
Have you heard
how.
it? Did you? I got now. You kind of got me looking at the thinking about. I wonder if they casted somebody in like that particular role, or will they have that role? And or if they do, man, can they reach out to my brother Earl Baylon, again, East Coast manager of Earl Baylon? Ask my brother if you do bring him up in the live action series, because he is more than just his voice. He can emote.
Yeah, well, thank you. I
Yeah,
don't know if they.
that would
I
be
feel
dope.
they
Are you
might
curious if they
have.
do bring that up in the live action?
Yeah, I'm actually looking it up right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they have cast. They cast another whatchamacallit, another a previous avatar. So
Okay.
we'll see. I don't know. I don't expect anything, and I don't
Hey,
like yo.
I'm just gonna put the buzz out there though. So if you do, let's make that happen. Earl Baylon again, voiceover king, but he can also perform, y'all. He can also perform as a person outside of that. So I love it, man. So through all these voiceover roles, now are you comfortable? Like now when VO projects come your way, man, you can even teach it as for all that don't know. Again, I've been bringing up our Barcata class. As part of just sharing with each other, because he's a man of amazing voice. Earl's actually gave us some assistance with VO lessons within our class. How are you comfortable now with that side of the industry?
Um, I want to say that, like, you think about it, even within voiceover, there's a lot of different kind of aspects to it. There's video games, there's animation, both like prelay, like Western animation, and then there's anime, and then there's promo and commercials. And I do want to say that I've dubbing, that's another thing too, like live action dubbing. After these many years, I would like to say that I have like more of a grasp of uh at least the video game and dubbing and a little bit of the animation stuff. Finally, I don't know if I would say I'm comfortable necessarily, but I do feel a little more confident than I did say 6 or 7 years ago. Because it is, like a lot of people, I started off on camera, and making that transition into voiceover is definitely something that is different. It's like two different worlds, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have I can now speak from experience,
Yeah.
and I mean that's a big thing, I think. So
No, yeah, definitely. I love it. No, again, I think we were kind of talking earlier, right before we got started, we've both been involved in this industry for so long. It's what we love, whether we, are in front of the camera or behind the camera. It's just putting in the work,
right.
And then over
Absolutely.
time, success happens. To me, I look up to Samuel L. Jackson a lot.
Right.
For those that don't know, that brother was old as hell in what was it?
Coming to America?
Yes, Coming to America.
Where he was the
And
robber?
the robber at the McDonald's, or not McDonald's, but the McDowell's. And that man is now Nick Fury, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude.
Just it doesn't matter what age you are. There's nothing that can hold you back. But I hope that you are confident in yourself, bro. And as a friend and as an admirer of your work, bro, like I love that you're there. I just hope that people don't pigeonhole you though into slots now, right?
Right,
You're just that guy. So like, I guess that would be my next question. So I'm you're comfortable there, hopefully, and you deserve more work there. Like, now that people are seeing you in person with Lumpia with a Vengeance, now that it's on digital, more of your work as a performer. And oh, you know what? I wanted to give you a shout out in this time because I watched that.
Oh, you watched this
a couple
time?
months back.
Oh, no, great,
And
great.
saw your little piece along with Mitch. That was cool
Yeah,
to see the
dude.
both of y'all in this time.
Yes,
But
shout
again,
out
I think you're such a dynamic
Sebastian. Yeah.
performer with yourself, because just beyond just your voice, you give and emote with your performance as a person,
Right. Thank you.
like just where is that with you? And I know you're going out for it, because we all know we try to book it, but it is what it is. But just does it make you hungrier, and you have that to fall back on? Just what is the mindset about that? And
Like on camera, I'm
yeah.
still definitely like, after it. I actually, I was lucky this year and I had a few on camera gigs that I can't talk about, and who knows at what stage they're at right now because the strike has been going on. So I'm chipping away at it, and it's one of those things. It's just like voiceover. You got to stick around and you got to keep chipping away at it, and eventually then you're going to find a foothold. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some people more time than others, and that's just not because you're like bad or your abilities are not adequate. It's because sometimes you just got to find the right niche, and hopefully I'm getting close to finding that, at least on camera. I'm still pursuing it. And as soon as we all get to come back, I think I'm going to be hitting the ground running. So we'll see what happens.
No, I love it, man. I just hope that's still a desire. I guess that's, I don't know if I asked the question correctly, but I just, I think you're amazing because I see you in our classes where we mix it up like that. Right.
Right.
And I know you can, and I just want to see, that's why I was like, I'll be your East Coast talent manager. So I guess that then goes into goals. What you're breaking into some pop culture mainstays well, you're Tomb Raider official, you're an Avatar now, you're in Starfield, that was amazing. I know they're gonna give us a Starfield 2, as popular as that game has been. Right. You're finding yourself in these little genre type pieces. Like what are more of the goals for Earl Baylon?
I'm not sure, honestly. Like I started off acting like with a pretty simple goal, and it's always been like I just want to work enough to get myself more work. I feel that. Just to keep on working, and that has been kind of like the proverbial carrot, like at the end of the stick that keeps me going. Is like I just want to work so I can do more work, and of course there's a certain level of notoriety that has to come with that, of course. And working on bigger, more recognizable intellectual properties or franchises, that always helps. So I think that really is a goal, is just to work on more things, more recognizable things, and hopefully create some kind of stability to the point where we can like help pull other people up. That's my goal. Also to create more for myself, write more beyond what I usually do, which is like a lot of short like sketch comedy and all that stuff. That's been my mainstay. But to create more long form stuff, maybe like more like TV shows, pilots for that, get this feature in my head that I've been trying to get down onto paper. Yeah, there's a lot of goals, but
okay,
everything it all leads to the central goal of like I want to do good work so I can do more good work.
I feel that, brother. I feel that. All right, so tied to that question, getting down to like my last questions, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know popular brother out there, the West Coast is calling for my boy, and plus you you probably want to get down on some games, so I can hold you from that. But I know like there's a lot of things, and I've talked to you personally, you know, that I would love to, you know, as a filmmaker, creative, and roles I'd like to play with you.
Right.
Is there like a dream role for the culture, if you will? Well, specifically in regards to, I'm big about being Filipino, and I know you're a very proudful Filipino. Is there anything for the culture, the community, like you'd like to do within the entertainment industry, whether it be like similar to maybe even Lumpia with a Vengeance? I know we were talking about, you know, 3, but like stories from our culture, our history. We're actually in the final days of Filipino American History Month right now.
Right. I know, right.
Larry Itlong, you know, there's just, you know, I was just talking to another friend about a Lapu Lapu project that they had going on, but expanding that out within the indigenous Philippines stuff.
Right. Right.
But just, is there anything like that, or just like you're hungry to do within the culture maybe that fits within those goals? I'm just curious, for as a writer, creative myself, you know, because I'm writing all the time, like what would Earl like to play that I can put that on, you know? Just I'm curious if there's anything for that to, you know, close this out a little bit.
I'm, you know, the thing is, and it always comes back to this, is, you know, everybody says, you know, write what you know, right? And
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of I think the kind of driving force there for me is I'm trying to find a thing, you know, that that I know in the context of being Filipino and being Filipino American, that would generate interest, you know, what make people excited about it. And you know, there's a ton of different things in my head that I think about. I think about and this is kind of stupid. Well, you know what I want is I want, like, you've seen the Raid?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and like Marantau, all those, like the Indonesian films.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, we need one of those for like the Philippines, man. We need like just a straight up Filipino martial arts like brawl fest. We don't have that.
True. I just know my fat ass or my older asses, my knees and my body couldn't perform it like that. So I'm personally writing other shit. I'd write that for somebody else, or it's like some other generations, and I'd probably be like, you know, one of those. I just couldn't do all the moves anymore.
Martial arts, yeah.
That's why I was like, I'd write it, but I wouldn't write myself, you know.
you can be the old guru, the old master, dude.
That is true too. That is true.
Yeah, just dude chilling there, like
but I love I'd love to have there was some film that I recall seeing not too long ago that I've been meaning to check back in on that was somewhat similar, like our Raid, you know.
Oh really?
I have to think about that, and yeah, if you're interested in, I'll find that.
Yeah, man. I mean,
but yeah.
One
part of the reason I asked that is, like, you know, you want to do stuff for the culture. And that's like my entire being in a lot of ways. But then at the same time, I don't want to. Can it just be, you know, where it's not stereotypical? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I feel you.
I want to walk that line where it's like it's uniquely Filipino, but it's not stereotypical shit. And I'm, you know what I'm saying, in the.
Right.
I'm using our culture in a way. You know what I'm saying?
You want it to be universal, right?
Yes.
You want it and it's not just for to be popular. It's really just so everybody, you want to create everything, something that everybody can relate with.
Like Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if it's just me. I think I don't know if you and I talked about that a lot. I know I talked with some other friends.
Right.
Like, I had high hopes because I was a big fan of Joe Coy back in the day, and it's kind of drifted over time because of his politics and shit. But I just, like, my biggest thing with Easter Sunday when it came out, for the people, I knew we were gonna laugh as within us, our community.
Right.
But I knew I was ready to punch a motherfucker in the head if it was a white boy doing like talking in Taglish or just kind of doing some shit that,
right,
nah, bro, you can't do us. Just
right,
like in the African American show, like black people wouldn't like them. That's not cool.
right,
So
right.
I knew I was gonna feel those same kind of vibes, and I was worried about those vibes. But Easter Sunday was trash. I was so hyped for it, but it was. Let's be real. The culture needs to be real about it. They shot in fucking Canada. You went in fucking the Bay. Anyway, let me get off of that because we, as a people, we want to big up our people, but at the same time,
Right. No,
we
absolutely.
can talk about our people and just come on. But
Right.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, yeah, as a writer, to put it back on my brother over here, like, is there like, do you ever get in those wavelengths and just what you want to do? Because I know you're a writer, creative yourself and stuff like that. Maybe you already touched upon it, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I always think about that, and the thing that I always come back to is I want to make something that is like very authentically something that is part of me, and I feel like that there are a lot of people that are trying to talk about the Filipino and the Filipino American experience, and that's never been a particular goal of mine. It has always been to speak from my experience as a Filipino American and not the other way around.
I love that. Yeah, because we feel that obligation, and that can be like a lot in the different ways. Or at least I don't know. I do. I kind of go all the different tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to cover, right?
Yeah.
There's many aspects to there's a lot of stuff to unpack. And I don't feel like we should have you or me as a Filipino American creative should have that responsibility or feel that responsibility, to speak for the entire culture.
Yeah.
So again, I've never wanted to create something that spoke for all of us. I wanted to make something that speaks something that speaks of my experience as a Filipino American.
I love that. Yeah, I love that, man. Like, but I also want that because I want to create, but at the same time, I don't want. There's that energy there that just makes it so hard, and then it fucks up everything else. So like, I just, you want to big up everything, just so
right, absolutely,
so the world can just see how well-rounded we are. Like right now, thinking about content that has been given to us as Filipino Americans, I think y'all as West Coasters, man, we see that there's that Filipino. We have a West Coast Filipino American representation with LUMPIA with a Vengeance. With a lot of product that's been out with the debut, everything.
Right,
there's a lot of product that is out there. We're
that's
getting a lot
West
of
Coast
product. Shout out to Toronto. I got a lot of Filipino cats that have been on ShoPowSho that are killing the game in Toronto. We have Yellow Rose with that Texas Filipino representation with Elizabeth Noblezada.
Right. Even Noblezada, yeah.
Shout out to Diana Paragas who gave us that. And I know she's got another product in the works that is going to be set in the Philippines and that time period. But like, there isn't a real good East Coast New York Philam film yet that I'm kind of that's what I have my eye on, like what I was raised up in as a military.
Dude, that would be dope as
Filipino
fuck, man. Yeah, that would be dope as fuck.
And that's something I'm working on. But then at the same time, I'm like, I'm watching it away, like just trying to find the angles, because then I don't want it to, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that track, but yeah, I think there's avenues for us as creatives to get into, but then it's just like that burden you feel sometimes with just how to present the product and watch the stereotypical bullshit,
Yeah, I think that's like this undue pressure that we all kind of put on ourselves. We sit here and it is really because like there has not been a lot of representation in the past. We can, we're naming films, and we're naming all these films that we can count on like 10, our 10 fingers.
Yeah,
right. And that's I'm glad for those ones that we do have, but we do need more. And like you said, it's very much it's a very West Coast centric like perspective. I would love to hear like what it was growing up for somebody in DC, what it was growing up for somebody in Virginia Beach, you know?
Yeah.
And or like anywhere, like the
actually, I'm happy you raised that. Are you, I'm curious from you as a West Coast cat.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because like I know I'm hungry to see us there, but do you guys actually feel that out there? Like, do y'all feel like do y'all wonder like what is up with Filipinos over here on the
oh
East
yeah
Coast?
At least I do all the time. So
Yeah.
I mean, like whenever I run into somebody from Virginia Beach, I'm like, yo, what was it like, man? You know, I'm talking like, you know, Dante, who was one of our artists for Dante Fernandez, one of our artists on Lumpia with a Vengeance.
Cool brother right there too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, shout out to Dante.
He's a Va Beach dude. Even you, like JB, right? Y'all East Coast folks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's like. I don't know what the culture was like, because it's different. Even if we're talking about like between LA and Long Beach, the culture was a little different.
That's very true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I want to know, which is another thing that I'm thinking of, you know, growing up Filipino from like a Long Beach perspective, you know, I don't see that a lot. So yeah, it's there's a lot of ways to explore it, and there's a lot of angles to take. There's a lot
and
of
I hope
like
right now that all of my Filipino brothers and sisters that are watching this right now that have any blocks that they're going through creatively, we just listed a bunch of different avenues you could go and telling the Filipino story right now.
No, Doug.
Like we just gave you some content right now that you know. Yeah, you just actually got me thinking. Bringing up Va Beach and brother Dante down there. Chad Hugo from the Neptunes, who when I was down there, I think Pat got up with him like the day after I left when I came back up, because we did the Comic-Con, the Tidewater Comic-Con together when Pat came out here from the East Coast, and we rocked that. And like the day when I was heading back up, he went to go to Chad Hugo's house. And like there's the whole crazy Neptune story that Filipinos are involved in. They're a fucking part of the Neptunes through Chad. Like, that's a story I know Phil Ams would love to see. You know what I'm saying? And how that integrated, and especially with Black culture, like how this Black brother and this Filipino brother got together. Like, I know I want to watch that movie. You know what I'm saying? Because like Pharrell's like this huge cat now, even Chad, but Chad kind of chilled out, you know, to take care of the fam a little bit, but he still has his hand in music. But like, you know, even if it's the fucking Chad Hugo story, I'm ready to put that money down. Like, there's so many stories to tell, man. But
there are a lot of stories to tell, you know, and the problem is it's never that these stories don't exist, because they exist. They happened, and they exist in a lot of people's heads and a lot of people's hearts. The problem is getting these funded, you know, getting the money to actually create these things, you know.
Exactly.
That's a hard
y'all
part.
Gotta back us out there, y'all, and there's creatives ready to talk about it. Bro, the comic, I'm a comic head, as you know, and I write and publish comic books. And back in the day, even before, you know, I got down with y'all in the Lumpia stuff, I was managing talent at Marvel and DC. The whole Marvel, if true comic heads know, fucking Whilce Portacio, Alfred Alcala, there was a whole movement where Marvel was hiring so many artists out of the Philippines.
Lots of artists,
there's a story to be told there. Like, like I want to tell that story and shit. Shout out to my boy Keith Sakat. He's been on ShoPowSho. He actually did a great documentary about the Philippine evolution in comics and everything.
No way.
And Budget Tan Tresse, who you know as well, with him and Kajo with Tresse. Bro, like there's so many of our stories, y'all. I'm throwing ideas out to my Filipino creators right now. Let's make that happen. Let's support it. Let me do one more question at you, Earl. Before I let you go, we're proud nerds, bro. We're proud nerds.
Always.
Nerds rule the world. ShoPowSho, where we represent our Filipinx culture. But you're gaming. You're in Starfield. But what else does? And we know I think the last time I asked this question. You're an amazing cook. I can't wait to head out to the West Coast and taste some of your food, bro, because you make me hungry.
Man.
But what is another secret that the world doesn't know about Earl that Earl's into? If you were to give a TED talk on anything, you can't talk about acting. It can't be gaming. Can't be cooking. What is else Earl into? Give me something really obscure that we don't know or the people don't know about Earl that he is into.
I'm sitting here looking around my room.
It's all good, brother.
So here's I think this makes sense. So in high school, my senior year, we had two research papers due our senior year. One first semester and one second semester. And my two subjects that I picked, the first one was a paper called Bago Sila Dumating. It was like a paper about pre-Hispanic Philippine culture.
No.
So that was my first paper that I wrote. And then the second one was about Dungeons and Dragons.
I love it. Love it.
So I wrote about those two things. Those two things were my life in high school, reading about Filipino culture and Dungeons and Dragons. And that's the one thing I don't think I publicize like too much is like I'm really into role-playing games. Like I said it like video game wise, but like
you're about tabletop board
tabletop, dude. I am all about tabletop.
Really?
I've been playing since I was 15. So a lot of like the content I'm trying to create right now has to do with tabletop stuff.
Shut the front door, brother.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Well,
I just had to bring out my dice. So like
okay.
But
bro, I might have to holler at you because as a channel, I've been doing my thing for a bit. I recently got down with a board game company.
Oh yeah.
And they sent me a bunch of their products. You might not have seen it. I actually did a couple posts, and I'm actually entrusting one of my other producers on my team to reach out.
Right.
I had, you know what? Bring it up right now. Some promo. Shout out to Rock Manor Games. They are now back in Nerds Rule the World. I got 3 of their products here. Maximum Apocalypse. What is this one? Lawyer Up and Brass Empire. They sent us these to do reviews on their product. And way. I'm reaching out. I'm giving away games. I will actually send one of these over. I'm looking to get people on our team. We got the product. Whoever on the team wants to do a review on the game.
Right.
I will send this out to you. If you want any one of these, Earl, I'll send them your way. I'll send all 3 of them if you want them.
let me see. I have people that are like that specialize.
I've been meaning to hit up JPG because I know he's all about the board games too.
Yeah, dude, JPG.
But we'll talk offline because I don't want to do a promo on your interview. But yeah, I'm adding that board game element. I've got more video gamers than board gamers.
There's not a ton of board gamers, but they're out there for sure.
We can talk offline because I have the content. I just need the people to talk on it.
Right.
We can talk on that. But dope. So now I know another thing about my brother Earl Baylon. Y'all, Earl Baylon, Tomb Raider, the Legend of Lara Croft coming in 2024. He's also on Starfield, Trece, Lumpia with a Vengeance, on streaming right now. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Atlas Fallen. My brother's badass, y'all. Kuya Earl, bro.
You got one that just came out today too. So
was that?
I just said there's another one that just came out today too.
So. Oh, what is it? Let's promote it. What you got?
It's called Curses. It's
oh yeah, that's right. On Netflix.
It's on Apple Plus.
Okay, Apple Plus. Curses. What you got going on Curses, man?
I got a few episodes on there, but like I just watched the first episode yesterday, and I'm excited about it. Like I was reading a review. It's like one reviewer said it was like the tone was very much Indiana Jones, and I forgot what it was. But
it's like a supernatural like adventure.
It's like a spooky adventure series.
Dope.
And yeah, I can't wait to. Not all the episodes are out yet, but like I'm definitely gonna keep up with that.
Okay, so check out my brother Earl Baylon on Curses, y'all. I hope you continue to get some more Festival of Riches, brother, because you are a talented cat. Not only with your voice, but also with your performance. You emote And from a producer perspective, from myself outside of here, you're a brother I would hire. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thanks,
and
man.
I hope my peoples that are watching this hire my boy right now. But yeah, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, dude. I look forward to us checking in again and giving you more flowers for your work, because I know you deserve it, man. I know you're gonna get it, man, because you're just a talented brother, man. And I just hope continued success, my man.
Thank you. Likewise, dog.
Everybody, Earl Baylon.
We'll
Definitely. All his links are going to be in the description below. Go check him out. Send him love. Join that subreddit and shout more praises on him, or start new ones. Let's start a new one for this curses joint. Let's give this brother love, and I'll bring him back, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, bro. Earl Baylon, y'all. Your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Salamat, mahal kita. We out.
Later. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Of course.